What's going on, everyone? It's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you another podcast today. Round 13 is over. The second bye, the easiest bye, with only Freo and Port having those buys. It was pretty good for most people, but it was also a pretty crazy, hectic weekend as well. So you had Nick Dacos, who got subbed. 51% of the top 1% of Supercoach teams had him captain. Luckily, that wasn't me. I had Maxi Gorn, but that would have hurt a lot of people. We saw Will Dawson go down with AC joint on zero, which means he'll be out for, I think they said 6 to 8 weeks today, which is not great. It's another dead rookie. And a lot of primos have got us thinking, are they actually primos? But we'll get into that shortly. So, this will be a slightly different podcast. Usually, I go through all the trade in, trade out, captains, everything like that. But today's going to be more of a team review, go through my thoughts, and then I'll talk a little bit about who we can try and target from those teams that have already had their bye. We did this last week, want to do it again this week. So, um, we're going to do that, and that's mainly just because, as you can probably tell, I sound like Squidward. I'm a bit under the weather, so we'll see how we go. But before we get started, let's get into the socials. So don't forget, you can find us on Twitter at Breakevens Pod. Everything is posted there. I'm going to post all the captain stuff on there as well. So if you're watching this and you're trying to figure out where the captain options are, it will be on Twitter, same as on our Facebook page at the Breakevens. Give us a follow there. Everything is posted over there every week. Updated live scores, which I haven't been able to do the last 2 weeks. I've been a busy man, but this week should start to continue that on again. So over on Facebook, of course, here on YouTube, the Breakevens, and on Instagram, the Breakevens. So make sure you give us a like, follow, subscribe on all of those platforms. Really helps um, the channel and help with me interacting with everyone, which has been great this year. A lot of people sending me messages asking my opinion, which I haven't really got before. So if you have done that and I have helped you, hopefully in a positive way, make sure you keep doing that. I'm always here to help. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's see how my side went for round 12. Just realized I said round 12 and not round 13. Duh. So I apologize. I'm sure someone will be like, you said round 12. But hey, as I said, I'm sick of feeling under the weather. It's okay. How did I go? So 1944 for the Flock of Gulls. Again, another green arrow, 2,906 now. Back in the top 3K. As we know, I get close to top 1K. I think I've been around 1,500 twice. Then I have a bad week, so then I'm back around 3K. So I've got to work my way back. 1944, pretty happy with that. Obviously, green arrow means I've done something right. But again, room for improvement there. So very happy. Could have been a lot more, but green arrows are good, baby. So let's see how my team lined up and how everyone scored. All right, so this is how we lined up. Um, yeah, as you can see, a lot of low scores there, which is very annoying, but a few good scores. So let's just go through. So Dacos, as I said, subbed out at I think it was just after 3/4 time. He copped a knock to the shin. Apparently, it's just precaution. Craig McRae said, if we need you, mate, we'll keep you going. But we kicked it. We, as in Collingwood supporter, we kicked a few goals early, so they decided, you know what, we'll just manage him, rest him. No need to I guess risk him at that time. So 64 is not great for owners, especially those who captained. But look, he probably would have scored an 80 anyway. Neil Bullen had a close tag on him, and I mean real close. So It was going to be a down game anyway. So, look, can't be too annoyed, especially by how many people own him. But yeah, 64 doesn't look great. Sheasel 129. I'm so glad I kept Sheasel. In past years, these guys I would have traded and then they would have got back in the form, and I would have been sitting there going, oh, I've wasted a trade, and this person I've brought in has stunk it up. But I'm happy, 129. Jeremy McGovern was on 96 with about 10 minutes to go. He finished on 88. He didn't give away any free kicks. He took a kick in, but because the ball wasn't really down there, he didn't really have an impact late. He lost 8 points, which is so frustrating. Especially he was the guy that I bought in. I was looking to bring him or Lockie Neal in last week, and I was like, you know what, I'll get the defender, and hopefully Wilson has a good game, and I can still get Neal, but that didn't happen. Nick Martin 92, not 92 is not too bad, but I am worried about his role. He keeps getting pushed forward, slightly irritating. Not going to lie. Because now he doesn't look top 8 in defense. So question marks over his job security in my side. Alex Sexton, 87. I'm happy there. He's up to 400K. I held him for nine weeks at 180K. He was just there. He shot up to 406. And if check his break even, 51. So next time he plays, he'll probably go up some more. Will Dawson, as I said, a 0, not ideal, but you can't help it. And Luke Ryan didn't play, and Zach Reed didn't play. So moving on to the midfield, Bont 99 couldn't scrape the 100, but it is what it is. Butters didn't play, obviously, so that's fine. Dawson 117 was happy. He started off really slow, but brought it back, which was good. Zachy Mir at 125, very happy there. Sammy Walsh 87. 2 up games, 1 down game. It's just a roller coaster of Sam Walsh. Took Miller though. Took Miller can ship off. He can ship off a 58. That is absolutely woeful. He did cop again another hard tag. Windhager was basically inside of him the whole game. That sounds very sexual. I didn't mean it that way, but he was pretty close. So 58. Again, question marks. Does he stay in my side? Tommy Green is another one, 79. What's happened? This guy was averaging 130 in the first 6 rounds. What has happened? And question marks. It's all falling apart here at the flock of goals. And talk about falling apart. Darcy Wilson loves a donut. At halftime, didn't touch the thing. You know, that red oval shaped ball thing that footballers are supposed to get and use? Yeah. Nah. Not this weekend. 25. That's an absolute stinker. But the big Breville or Breville 70 was very happy. That I was able to have him on field. Maxi Gorn was my captain, 132, saved it. A lot of people jumped on Sammy Flanders pretty early. So I was hoping for a half decent captain score, and I got one, so I'm happy there. Timmy English, and the biggest disappointment in the world. Basically, I got rid of Luke Jackson for Tim English, which going by the average was a good trade, but lately he's just hasn't been great. And I'm sort of annoyed that I traded Grundy at the start of the year because Grundy's looking good, man. That's why I started him. So, yeah, look, let's hope English can turn it around. But Sammy Stupid Sexy Flanders, 152, had 42 or 43 possessions, absolutely tore it apart. I thought he was legitimately going to score 200, but he only scored 3 Supercoach points in the third quarter. He was on 102 or something at halftime and finished on 152, which is, again, it's a great score, but could have been a lot more. Isaac Heaney, 116. I'll take that 116, not as vice captain, though. So basically, I was tossing up between Flanders and Heaney. I was like, you got to back Heaney in, but it is what it is. 116 still a great score. Zorko 95, I'll take that. If that's one of his poor games, I'll take the 95. The Fish 120. Everyone thought he was injured. He came off last 10 minutes, didn't really play. But apparently it was just cramp in that calf. So he should be good for this week. Fingers crossed, because I'm running out of trades. Lukey Jackson didn't play. Tommy Powell, 72. Big question marks. And I think you might find that he will be out of the side this week. But I'll take his 72 because on the bench I had Fraser, who scored 53. And I was there. Do I take the 53? Do I think McMullen could score more? I took Fraser's score just because I felt McMullen could have been the sub. And it was a good thing that I did because an extra 3 points. Yeah. But McMullen there, who didn't get on the field, scored a 50, basically in like a quarter. He came on and was dominant. So hopefully he's not sub again this week because the kid can score, the kid can play. And I need that cash gen pretty quick. So that's how my side went. Now let's get into what trades I'm going to make. So here you have it, another 3 trades. Darcy Wilson, Hugo Garcia, and Tom Powell are outzos. So what am I going to do? 1.2 million there. Obviously, I need to get a rookie. I'm only going 1 rookie. So technically it's like 2 upgrades, but mainly it's like 1 sideways. But I'm going to call it an upgrade because I think it's a good one. So what rookie? If we look under 3 matches, drop it down to 230, and we'll go by games played. Curtin, no. Brain, no. Simpson, no. Day and Manor have the bye. Nope. Double nope. Dowling, nope. Well, sorry, Dowling, yes. Ryan, nope. Binns, nope. Allen, nope. Kruger, possibly. Cuddy, nope. Shacky, definitely not. Tholstrup, Coulthard, Clark, Barnett, Cully, and a whole bunch of West Coast guys that I'm definitely not going to get in. So really, it's between Dowling and Kruger. Kruger looked good. Second ruck, key forward. Was pretty happy with his game. Dowling, on the other hand, looked pretty comfortable. Got a goal. Could have kicked a second goal very late to help them maybe get over the line, but he absolutely shanked it, unfortunately. But he looked pretty good, and I think he'll keep getting games. So that's why I'm going Billy Dowling. I think if Kruger has another good game this week, then I think Fraser will probably make way for Kruger there. So that's how that's going to go. Let's clear these filters because I need a midfielder. I need a midfielder. So let's go mids, filter. Actually, no, we'll leave the mids. We're going to go forwards. Go by average. So Heaney, Flanders, Zorko. You got Rankin there who's was injured, but he is a test for this week. But what I'm hearing is he'll be back. Waterman's not playing. Dylan Moore is another one. Looking pretty good. Pretty sure they have the bye next week. So, well, same as Rankin. So not going to get Mackay, Kerno, and then everyone else really isn't worth looking at. So basically between Moore and Rankin. And I'm leaning towards Rankin here. If he is back, um, you know, 3 round average of 120, was playing in that midfield. Let's have a look, because I think he's got a good fixture as well coming up. Low break even, so he's going to make some money. So the Swans this week, which is a tough one. Actually, looks like he's got a few tough ones coming. Yep, so a few tough games here. And then we'll look seeing some easy ones and then tough ones there. So has he played GWS yet? No, has he played Brisbane? So he's got 142 recently against Brisbane, which is good. Hasn't played the Giants or the Swans yet. Saints, no Saints. Essendon, he's got 85. Hawks, no Hawks. The Cats, he scored 81. That was earlier in the season. Doggies, no. And Port, the other one, he scored a 93. So if you look at these scores, he's been pretty consistent. And this is the period here that I'm looking at. He's played a bit more midfield time. And he's looked really dynamic there. So he's definitely in consideration. If we look at Dylan Moore, so again, another low break even. Has Richmond this week. That's a big thing. He has Richmond. He also has the Eagles. Right. So let's have a look at his scores. Started off well. Quiet. Good one. Quiet. 3 big ones. Few quiet ones. Massive score. And then a quiet one. So let's see. Richmond, West Coast. You know what? That's not a bad run home. That's it. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3 games out of Victoria. Right. How do you go against Geelong? So Geelong was a bad game. Does he play Adelaide again? He does at the Adelaide Oval this time. And he scored well against Sydney and the Bulldogs, which is good. So tough. But for the sake of the trades I already did prior, I have gone Rankin. But if he's not selected, it's an easy switch to Dylan Moore there. So it's definitely between those two. I'll have to make a decision there. But they both have the bye next week, so it's not really going to affect any of the trades that I had. So we'll keep it there. So now I need a midfielder. So we'll go midfielder, players I can afford. So 563. Matt Rowell was someone who I was definitely looking at, but he has the bye this week. Jack Steele, no thank you. Errol Goulden, someone who I'm definitely looking at. Buys. Horn Francis, no thank you. Laird, Petrarca's injured. Ollie Wines has been good. Hayden Young, Tim Taranto's back. And I think that's really it. There's not too many people down there. So let's have a look at Goulden, because he's the one that I was definitely looking at. So Errol Goulden obviously went massive last week. Already has had his bye as well. So 2 good scores, 1 bad score, 1 good score, 1 bad, well, not 1 bad score. This is what I'm looking at. He's stepped it up the last 2. We know last year he finished really strong. That's where he got a whole bunch of his Brownlow votes as well. So, I got Adelaide, Giants, Freo, Saints, North, Brisbane, Bulldogs, Port, Collingwood, Essendon, Adelaide. I'm just going to do that. No worries. Errol Gordon is coming in. That's a great run home. He's slightly cheaper, so I don't have to wait and do 2 downgrades, get 1 upgrade. I can do it with the cash that I had left over, which is what I wanted to do. So that works out perfectly. But what I will actually do is Dylan Moore is 517, I believe. Can I filter that? So I'll have to quickly just sub Fraser here. 517k. So from 552 to 517, what's that? That is 35k. So Fraser there. So if I look at 600, clear that. Going to go too far. Not far enough. We'll go 610 because too fidgety. All right, and then we'll go highest price. So I can get LDU, I can get Dunkley, Libba, Kelly. Will Day has been massive. 123 of his last 3. All right. So really, if I wanted to bring in Dunkley or LDU, that's what I could do if I go ranking down to more. But we're going to stick with Errol. So, yeah, I feel like I just rambled through that, but that's what I'm going to do. I'll confirm this and show you how I'm going to line up this week. All right, so this is how I'm looking to line up. So I've made a few switches. I brought Zorko into the midfield for Dowling just so get more players on it and it looks a lot better. But ideally, Dowling and Zorko would have switched. But yeah, so I've got 18 because Will Dawson won't be playing. So I've got 4 in the back line, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not counting Bytel, 12, 13, 14, 15 if Franklin plays, 16, 17, 18. And if Franklin doesn't play, I get Dylan Moore. So I'll get 18 anyway, which means I'm taking everyone's scores this week, which is a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I haven't looked too far into it, but Zorko against the Saints screams money to me. So he'll be my vice captain. I was thinking Bond against Freo could be a good shout. Richmond and Hawthorn. I don't have any Hawthorn players. I definitely don't have any Richmond players. So can't use a captain there. Adelaide versus Sydney. I like Goulden. We know what Dawson can do. Hopefully he's over it all. North versus Collingwood is very tempting on these 2 here. Dacos and Sheasel could both just accumulate. GWS versus Port. Butters could go off. I'm not liking Green at the moment. So I think it might be these 2. But again, I haven't looked super into the captains. I want to do that once I finish this so I can post it all to you guys on Twitter and Facebook. So that is how the flock of gulls will be lining up this week. So now, what we're just going to do quickly is talk about players who you can target now. Especially, the buy rounds, we try and target those who have previously had the buy. So what I'll do, I'll go filters here. And I'm going to go Brisbane, GWS, Port. I forgot Freo, Sydney. I know there's one more that had the buy, I'm pretty sure, or a few others, but I'm not too fussed about at the moment. So these guys have all had their buy. Luke Ryan, if you do not have him, I think he is the must bring in. Yes, he's 666k, the devil's number, but average of 129 is absolutely nuts. Isaac Heaney, again, if you don't have him, you just have to jump on. Super consistent, scoring 1.1 point per minute over the weekend. And 1.2 in average. No brainer. Caleb Sarong, someone who I'm definitely looking at getting. Slow last 3 rounds, but he's still averaging 124. Definitely someone to bring in. Butters is the same. If you don't have him, you have to bring it in. Grundy's a tough one. If you have enough trades and you have Tim English, I would be going to Grundy. Easy run home. And if he plays at the SCG, he's averaging like 130 or something. So it's absolutely nuts. Chad Warner, it's a tough one. 138 3 round average, only scored a 98 last round. Has looked a lot better. Could be a good pod choice. It's 634k. I think it's a bit of a risk. And these 3 Brisbane players, I like Lockie Neal over the other two. Just because I think it's Lockie Neal time. Look, 135 average over the last 3. He's looked back to his best. Has been pretty consistent, gone under the radar, only in 8.7% of teams. I think you can jump on. After that, I think Zorko for the forward lines is a must. And then you got Dunkley as that pod at 5.8. Houston, I don't like the Houston pick anymore. Yes, he's averaging 108. But I don't know, something's telling me stay clear of Houston. If you already have him, you're going to ride him for the rest of the season. That's completely fine. But I don't know. I just have a thought. But what can come out and score 150 this week? Errol Goulden, yeah, I think he is about to turn it on, and he's scoring 140 again this week. Now this is the big one. Jordan Clark. I am very, very tempted to go Nick Martin to Jordan Clark. I love what he's been doing all season. A 137 average in his last 3, 5.2% of sides. It's a good pod, and I'd be happy to go it. Brayshaw, unfortunately not. Green, I wouldn't be jumping on Green if you don't have him. Honestly, 473k. I think it's worth doing an extra trade down to a rookie to get up to an Errol Goulden type of player. Luke Jackson, he's going to be that 95 average in our forward lines with Shrek playing. Hopefully, Shrek Darcy does get injured though. But I think solid 95. If you don't have him and you're backing in Sean Darcy, then I would leave Jackson. But I just know Darcy's going to get injured and Jackson's got to get a good 4 to 5 run of games at a minimum where he's going to score well. Blakey got injured. Not sure how bad that is, but I'd probably stay clear. Lockie Whitfield is another one who I would stay clear. We know he can score well. Started off the season really well. Has tapered off. Hayden Young is another pod choice for your defense. Well, not really, actually, 17.9. I thought he would have been a little bit lower. Definitely someone who you can bring in. At the moment, I would prefer Clark over him, though. And apart from that, that's really who there is. I wouldn't really go anyone else. unless you want to go with Josh Kelly when he comes back. But unfortunately, injuries are going to hurt. So these are the people that we are trying to target this week. All right, next week, if I go back to my team, and this week you got to think ahead. Next week, you'll be looking at Essendon players, so Nick Martin or Zach Merritt. You got McGovern for West Coast, Sammy Walsh. I don't think you really go anyone else because Newman had a down game with Sard back. Tom DeConnin is destroying it. I do think Charlie Curnow will score well in the back end if you want to go there. So you're targeting those Carlton players and the Gold Coast. So you look at your Flanders, getting your Tooks out, Matt Rouse, if you want to get cheeky, you know Andersons. And then you have the Ds where if you don't have Max Gorn, that's really the only person you need to bring in. So those are the teams and the players to try and target this week, and just looking forward to next week, which I am looking to try and move a few things around so I can get a few of those players. So that's going to do it for tonight's podcast. Again, a little bit different, more of a team review sort of style because I'm feeling sick. So I'm sorry if I've disgusted you with my nose. But all the captain stuff I will put on our Facebook page and on our Twitter/X account tomorrow. So make sure you don't miss out on that. So thank you all again for watching. Don't forget you can hit us up on Twitter/X at BreakevensPod, on Facebook, the Breakevens Facebook page, over here on YouTube, the Breakevens, and on Instagram, the Breakevens. So good luck for round 13, round 14. I almost did it again. Round 14. Until next time, it's bye for now.